So you will agree with me that your lab must be independent. A lab must be independent.
It's one of the principles that we have. Technically, we are independent. Administratively, and
no, listen, answer the question you asked. Okay. The lab must be independent. You agree that its methods must be tested and relied?
That's correct.
You issued and published on the internet a performance report for your director. Is that correct?
That's correct, my lord.
If I show it to you, can you identify it? It's published on the internet for everyone
Yes,
to
it's
read.
a published document.
You issued a performance report for the Directorate of Forensic Services. Can you confirm that that document is the report?
Yes, this is the performance report that was published.
Can you confirm it has a signature?
I authored the foreword on the published document.
The answer to the question was, can you confirm it has a signature?
Yes, that's correct.
Please go to page 29 of that report.
Yes.
Do you see the last paragraph of page 29 of your report?
Yes.
I'll read it maybe for purposes. No, you can read it for us.
Starting from the ISO, that's
yes.
correct. The ISO IEC 17025 2017 International Standard specifies the general requirements for competence, impartiality, and consistent operation of laboratories. The standard is applicable to all organizations performing laboratory activities regardless of the number of personnel. Laboratory customers, regulatory authorities, organizations, and schemes using peer assessment, accreditation bodies, and others use the standard in confirming or recognizing the competence of the laboratories. The documentation of our process ensures that forensic analysis is fit for purpose to derive maximum value from the crime scene to the courts of law.
Okay. So, would I be fair to say, according to this document, you recognize the competence and impartiality of the lab. One of the ways is to use the international standard ISO/IEC 17025:2017.
Yes, that is the standard we benchmark ourselves on.
Thank you. The standard is ISO, my lord. What does it say about that standard? He said that's the standard they use to benchmark. ISO, the standard is, they use this standard to benchmark. The standard is the ISO/IEC 17025. Then a colon, I think, 2017. And according to this standard is applicable to organizations performing laboratory services.
Yes.
According to this.
Yes, those are the organizations you can benchmark against it.
Was applicable to organizations carrying out laboratory services. And I think my Malami friend should stop communicating. No. It's okay. The standard is
benchmark our quality management system.
Okay, and according to this, this standard is used to confirm or recognize the competence of laboratories.
Yes, that's correct. That is from the normative of the standard.
To confirm and recognize the competence of laboratories. And according to and according to your report,
Yes.
it is one of your key objectives to be ISO accredited.
Yes, we are in pursuit of
Thank you.
accreditation.
Key objectives.
To achieve accreditation status. Accreditation status.
Of his laboratory.
Accreditation status
No,
of the laboratory
accreditation status of the laboratory.
to the standard ISO 17025 2017. To achieve accreditation status to the standard ISO
Stroke IEC.
17. Yes, madam. Yes.
And you are trying to get, yes, and you are trying to get that accreditation according to this report, so that once you have it, then the results from your lab would be internationally recognized as reliable.
That's one of the objectives.
Okay, thank you. So one of the objectives is so the results from the lab would be internationally reliable. So the results from his lab can be internationally reliable. And can you confirm that since that report was written up to now, your lab is not ISO certified or accredited?
We have not yet achieved the accreditation status.
Answer my question. Your lab is not ISO certified, yes or no?
We have not yet achieved accreditation status.
And according to that report, absent that accreditation status, your results are unreliable.
Those are your words, my lord. Those are council's
It is
words.
written in your report, but it makes the...
That's, he has imputed, and those are his words. Thank you.
Okay. Is your report correct to say that when you have that status, your results will be reliable?
When you achieve accreditation status, my lord,
Is your report correct to say that when you have those results, your lab will be reliable? I want to move to the next topic.
that's not wrong.
Your report is wrong.
Not that the report says that.
Okay. I want to move. Do you know a lab called the Directorate of Government Analytical Laboratories?
Yes.
Would I be correct to say that for more than a Directorate of Government Analytical Laboratories, in brackets, DGAL, it's abbreviated DGAL, correct?
That's the common name for the laboratory as a short form.
It used to be called the Government Chemist.
Yes, formerly called the government chemist.
You, would I be correct to say that For more than 50 years, it is that lab that has been providing forensic evidence to the courts of Uganda.
That's not correct.
For police.
That's not correct.
How many years?
I don't know. You can ask the founders, but it's not correct.
But no, my question is that the lab that generally provides forensic evidence to the courts?
It's one of the labs that provides evidence to the court.
In criminal cases?
Also in criminal and civil cases, it's one of the labs.
Talking about criminal cases?
Even in criminal cases, it's one of the labs.
Can you confirm that that lab is ISO accredited?
I am not a staff of that lab and I'm not this provider, so I cannot.
But you worked there?
I worked there for 12 years, and at the time when I was there, it wasn't accredited.
And is it accredited now? To your knowledge, to your honest knowledge?
I saw a publication somewhere, but I cannot confirm.
So you've seen a publication that it's accredited?
Yes.
The government chemist. Pigal, I think is what it's called now. He saw a publication somewhere that it's accredited.
So I cannot confirm. Yes.
You can, apart from accreditation, the other important thing is independence. Is that correct?
It's called impartiality, my lord.
Independence, before we reach impartiality. I'm coming to impartiality.
My lord,
I'm talking about independence. Apart from accreditation, another important thing is the independence of the lab.
My lord, I request counsel to clarify what it means by independence.
I want to suggest to you that your lab is not independent.
Please clarify what you mean by independent.
Okay, I want you to go to Defense Exhibit 5. The electrocardiograms. This is the electrocardiograms. Just, do you have a copy of them?
No.
You don't have a copy of the electrocardiograms?
You want me to look into the programs themselves?
Yes, what you gave us.
Yes, I have my case notes here.
I want you to just look at this cover page here.
Yes, that's the cover page for the transit ladder.
I want you to confirm
Yes.
that in order to give this court
Yes.
Mole Katanga's DNA, you required approval from the IGP.
My lord,
It is here. I want you to look at this thing and confirm who approved.
My lord, in order to disclose confidential information.
No. Just look at this document here and confirm who approved.
In order to disclose confidential information, the organization where the forensic laboratory is domiciled, Uganda Police, requires the approval of the head of the organization.
Okay. In order to release information.
In order to disclose confidential information,
he requires.
I require approval
from the IGP
of my line supervisor.
And we can clearly see this from Exhibit D5. To release electrocardiograms to this court, you required the approval of the Inspector General of Police.
As part of confidential.
So, okay. So I therefore want to suggest to you that you are not independent because a person outside of the lab can make important decisions like disclosure of evidence in a court of law.
My lord, the administrative functions require that confidential information has to be approved before disclosure.
The what?
Confidential information has to be approved before disclosure.
And this is in a certain document?
These are the standard operating procedures.
Now, yes, my lord, I am going to, on top of in the lack of independence and accreditation, you have provided to this court at page 2, this is the document here, the electrophotographs. At page 2, you have provided page 2 of defense exhibit, the one which has the electrophotographs. It's a letter to the Inspector General of Police. That's not it.
Yeah, but you are...
Okay. Okay, so you have here what you provided as your authorization to conduct DNA activity in Uganda. Would I be correct?
That is the certification body for Uganda, which...
Would I, no, let's work with my questions. You'll answer those, you'll make those wonderful statements in other questions. My question is, you've provided us here with the authority you have to conduct DNA testing in Uganda.
Yes, that's correct.
Has provided us with the only authority he has to conduct DNA testing in Uganda. Now, I want to read the last paragraph.
Yeah.
I want you to read the last paragraph, which starts of that authority. First of all, confirm, before you read, confirm that this is a letter from the Ministry of Health.
Yes. Please bear with me the copy so that they can follow. Council.
You have to return it. I'm using it for 6 years.
Much of that, my lord.
Yes,
it is on header paper for the Ministry of Health, dated 21st July
21st July
2023.
2023. So just confirm that you only got authority to do DNA testing in this country in July 2023.
That is when the ordinance was released by the minister and the protocol was
So
released.
the answer is yes or no?
That is correct, 21st July 2023.
To do DNA testing in Uganda.
Okay.
21st July 2023. That is just 3 months before the incident in this case occurred.
Yes, that's correct. This is July. This did happen in November.
That is just 3 months before the incident in this case occurred. Just read for us the last paragraph.
My lord, the last paragraph reads, it is in this regard that the Ministry of Health adds the Uganda Police Force Forensic Laboratory at Naguru to the database of gazetted or certified facilities for DNA relationship testing.
Stop there. You have been added to the database of gazetted and certified facilities for DNA relationship testing.
That's correct. That's what it reads here, my lord.
Can you confirm that DNA relationship testing is a situation where I go to establish parentage?
That is primarily what we call kinship analysis.
And here, the Ministry of Health
Yes.
is talking about that.
Yes, that's relationship testing. Parentage, siblings, grandparents.
In fact, that is in fact a role for the Ministry of Health. it is understandable for the Ministry of Health to supervise issues like that.
That's the law of the land. You can ask the Ministry of Health their remit as well.
But the Ministry of Health is not responsible for crime laboratories.
They say, however, I would also...
No, before you go, however, I just want you to answer my question. The Ministry of Health is not part of the Justice, Law and Order sector, correct?
You can ask the experts of the Justice, Law and Order sector.
You are part of it as a senior officer of the police.
Yes.
So you know who is part of it.
So when the Ministry of Health conducts...
Is the Ministry of Health part of your sector?
If they conduct sexual assault examinations, are they part of the criminal justice system?
No, you are not here to answer questions. How it works here?
It depends. It depends.
Okay, the answer is it depends.
Yes. On the matter, it depends on the matter which is under question.
What was the question?
The question is the Ministry of Health is not part of the criminal justice system in Uganda.
I would not categorically state it that way, my lord.
I cannot say.
Okay, so now this accreditation continues. We're now going to the next sentence, which starts however. So maybe read however.
However, I would also like to confirm. However, I would also like to confirm that the laboratory should continue providing forensic DNA testing services as per its mandate.
So you can confirm that before this letter, you were already conducting forensic DNA testing services.
Yes, my lord, the facility
That's okay.
continues to perform those services.
So this letter is not the thing that licenses you to start conducting the services.
It certifies us to conduct the services.
My question, you're already conducting them. So
Yes.
this letter is not what licensed you to conduct them. Am I right?
I don't know about any document that requires the police to be licensed to do scientific investigation.
I know one.
Which one is that?
The Uganda Police Standing Orders.
Yes.
So I suggest to you that under the Uganda Police Standing Orders Volume 2, Crime and CID, you are not allowed to conduct DNA testing.
That is also not accurate.
So do you have an authorization from the Police Standing Orders to conduct DNA testing?
Yes, I do.
So my lord, the question was,
How authorization under?
I put it to the witness that he has no authorization under the Uganda Police.
I do have authorization.
Under the Uganda Police?
Under what?
The Uganda Police Force.
Under the Uganda, no, the document is called what?
You are quoting volume 2
Yes, of?
of the standing orders.
So the standing orders are the Uganda Police Standing Orders, Volume 2, Crime and CID.
It's crime and the CID.
Ma'am, volume 2.
Yes.
You say you have authorization.
Do you have authorization under them?
That volume was done in 1984, my lord.
For next week.
Even the penal code.
For next week.
To conduct DNA testing in Uganda.
Yes.
Can you confirm that under that document you do not have a mandate to conduct DNA testing in Uganda?
It is not categorically stated in the document which was written in 1984.
Okay, I want to. What about, okay, it's not categorical. So, the answer. Does this document give you authority categorically to conduct DNA testing in Uganda?
That's not the document that I derive my authority from.
Let's first start. Does this document give you authority to conduct DNA testing in Uganda? We can start with yes and no, then I'll go to that particular question. Don't worry, I'll come to that.
That document gives guidance to the police on how to conduct scientific investigations.
So it gives guidance. So does it? I'm coming to that. For the first question, please answer it. It's my second last topic. I have one more topic which is very brief. So this one, if you can help us move through it quickly, we'll appreciate. Does the Uganda Police standing orders give you authority to conduct DNA testing in Uganda?
My lord, those are the documented standing orders. We also have other orders which are not in that document. That very volume does not categorically state, my lord.
Are you aware that under Chapter 14, paragraph 106 of the Uganda Police Standing Orders, it is the government chemist that is authorized to conduct tests on blood?
Let me read that part.
Under Chapter 14, paragraph 106 of the Uganda Police Standing Orders, Crime and the CID, Volume 2. So I pass.
My lord, I'm reading 106.
Yes.
I'm reading 106.
Can you confirm that these are the standing orders? First?
My lord, he has given me copies and I'm reading from the copies he has given me. Under paragraph 106, an indication of the type of work undertaken by this section, talking about the scientific aid section, is given in chapter 23, para 24. I request that to also have that as well.
Okay.
Material submitted for examination must be listed on Form 17A. The officer bringing it must take a note in the official notebook. I request my lord to read chapter 23, paragraph 14.
Okay, now go to 107.
In addition, the services of the government chemists are available for 1, analysis of viscera for the presence of poison, identification of poisons or drugs or dangerous drugs. And that's where it ends, my lord.
Sorry, I'll get you the full one. But if I'll shortly provide you the full one. But there's blood in there. But now you wanted which one?
Chapter 23, paragraph 14.
Yeah, it's the last page.
Yes, the extract is here. Titled the scientific aid section.
Can you confirm that's your directorate?
Come again?
The scientific aid section is referring to your directorate?
No. It's referring to a section as it ends.
It was promoted to a directorate, but it used to be that.
It used to be the Identification Bureau.
Okay, continue. That's even worse. So to understand what you're allowed to do in the standing orders, we should look for the Identification Bureau.
I'm reading, my lord.
Okay.
The scientific aid section. The following is an indication of the work undertaken by this section. 1. Identification and comparison of wood and all other vegetables. Identification and comparison of hairs and other fibers. Development of erased ciphers which have been stamped on metal, wood, leather, etc. Examination of documents utilizing ultraviolet and infrared rays. Comparison of handwriting. Comparison of tool marks, foot impressions, etc. Firearm examinations. Number 2. See also chapter 14, which we have just read, paragraph 106, regarding the services of the government laboratory.
So under that, the scientific aid section was not allowed to do blood?
That's not what it says.
Does it allow you to do blood?
It says an indication of the work undertaken.
No, it's there. Does it allow you
There
to
is
do
no
blood?
word, my lord, here which says you are not allowed, or these are the only services.
No. By the way, as a government, you only do what the law allows you to do.
These are police.
You don't just do things you want.
My lord, under the...
But that's a debate for another day. Let's first deal with the answers. The answers are clear. Does the standing order allow that section to do blood?
The standing order, as it says,
Expressly. Let's deal with expressly.
the following is an indication of the work undertaken by this section.
Is there an express permission there for you to test blood?
It's not part of the indications
Thank you.
of the work undertaken by this
Thank
section.
you. Thank you. So there's no express indication. Thank you. There's no express indication from the standing orders allowing you. I have one more question on that point and then I move to the next one. And the next one will be the last one, my lord. The next section will be the last section. I have one more question on this particular. The exhibits, do you see it?
Yes.
I'll read that sentence. Read the sentence.
It reads, the exhibits, dash, dash, were handed to me by government chemists in sealed parcels at dash, dash, on dash, dash date.
So are you aware that that police form 17A is in fact
Yes.
a document that should be filled by the government chemist?
This is the document we use for our work, my lord.
Are you aware that that form has no provision for you to be dealing with 17As?
I am not aware, my lord.
So now, okay, and in that form, does it say anything about police form, the last page of police form 17A?
You don't refuse it, right?
The government chemist.
No, it's it reads. It reads. I'm not aware.
Okay, but you can read it again just for clarity.
My lord has already recorded. I'm not aware.
Yeah, I think the fact that you're not aware is patently clear to everybody. You're not aware of a lot, but let's say just read for us. The exhibits were?
The exhibits, then it has a dash where you indicate, were handed to me by government chemists in sealed parcels at then the dash hours on dash date.
Is there any provision on that form for something called the Directorate of Forensic Services of the Uganda Police Force?
My lord, is not expressly indicated on the form.
Can you confirm to this court that you are not the government chemist? It's not there. This is Mr. Mobiru. The office, the Directorate of Forensic Services. It's not there in PF 17A. Of Forensic
The
Services.
Director of Forensic Services.
It's not provided for in Police Form 17A. I don't know how it has been captured, maybe.
Yeah, it is not specified. Directorate. Resident service, that one.
It is not expressly indicated on the police form 17.
Does anything with Police Form 17A? The government chemist.
The Director of Forensic Services is not the government chemist.
And you are also not a government analyst.
Director. Is not the government
Chemist. So I want to put it to you that you're also not a government analyst.
I am a forensic analyst for the Directorate of Forensic Services.
No, there's a position called a government analyst in the government chemist's
I am not a staff of the government chemist.
The what? You are not a government analyst.
Because I am not a staff of the government chemist.
So yes or no, you are not a government analyst.
I was once, but I am not.
Good. My lord, the last issue. Maybe I can just end on that issue by putting it to you that apart from being unaccredited, you are also illegal. You are an illegal entity insofar as testing DNA. You have no authorization to test the DNA of anyone except finding out who my father is and who my mother is. I put that to you.
That is inaccurate, my lord. That is inaccurate.
Inaccurate.
This assertion is inaccurate.
Yes.
It is not.
It's inaccurate. I know it's inaccurate.
My lord, I rephrase.
No,
it is not true.
It's inaccurate.
You change it.
Let's take that.
Okay, but
It is not true, as counsel has stated.
it is not true that he has authority to take it. I put it to you that you have no authority to conduct any form of DNA testing except on issues of parentage. You cannot test anyone else's DNA in Uganda, and you should stop. Yes, to test anyone's DNA in Uganda except on the issue of parentage, and he should stop.
My lord, that's not true, and he has no authority to order us to stop.
The law. Anyway, let's move. This is the last topic, my lord. My lord, it's the last topic. And very few questions. Mr. Muru, just... Yes, my lord. Much of that, my lord. Mr. Muru, just confirm that your report is dated the 30th of April 2024.
That's the date on the report, my lord. The report is dated 30th April 2024.
Mr. Muru, kindly confirm to this court that you were asked to provide copies of any preliminary reports and you declined to do so.
Yes, my lord. Those were investigative
You
reports.
were asked and you declined.
We declined, my lord.
Thank you. Confirm. And you declined.
My lord, they were requesting for investigatory reports.
No, preliminary reports. You were asked and you declined. The question is it true that you declined?
Those are investigative reports to which we declined.
Yes. Can you confirm that when I look at your report, the cover letter of your report, my lord, which is the cover letter of the DNA report, can you confirm that it was forwarded in response to a request from CID?
That's correct.
Yes. On the 30th of April 2024. Was forwarded in response to a request from CID.
Yes.
Can you confirm that there is no indication in the forwarding letter of this being a further report?
It is not a further report. It is an evaluative report for court.
No, it is for the CID.
Yes, evaluative report to the OCCID.
There is no indication in this report of it being a further report. In
Because
fact,
it is not.
when I read this letter and this report, they are the first documents that are officially released by you to CID.
My lord, as I indicated, there are investigative reports we also issued to CID.
No, you did give them to us. So when I read this report, does this report give an impression that it is the first report issued from you to CID?
My lord, this is the first evaluative report issued to CID.
This is the first report that evaluated the evidence. My question, it's another question. I didn't look for my question. It's another question. This is the first report that evaluated the evidence.
There are two types of report, my lord.
No, this is the first report that evaluated the evidence. I'm not asking for the type of report. So
This-
get a chance in your exam.
This is an evaluatory report.
It is the first report that evaluated the evidence, is my question. Please answer yes or no.
It's the first report that categorically states the opinion of the authors.
It is the first report that categorically states the opinion. Now, and you can confirm that all the reports you issue are issued to CID.
Yes, the
Thank
person,
you.
not only CID,
Thank you. In this case, the reports you issue to CID.
the requesting officer.
I want to give you a document which is the statement of offense and the particulars of the summary of evidence in this case. My lord, dated 22nd of January. Just confirm the date. It's on the back page. The last page. Mr. Mubiru. The last page, the date.
The last page.
Confirm the date. What is the date of the indictment?
Date at Kampala on the 22nd day of January 2024.
Yes, the indictment in this case. 22nd of January 2024.
24.
Can you confirm that it's 4 months before you issued a report to CID?
That is 4 months before we issued the evaluative report to CID.
So you can now look at paragraph 32 of that report.
Yes, I can see I've marked it with an asterisk.
Yes. Can you read it for the court?
It reads, my lord, 32. The SOCO visited the scene and picked several samples for forensic analysis. On the DNA examination
Of the indictment. The indictment, paragraph 32 of the indictment is what is reading. Maybe start again.
the SOCO visited the scene and picked several samples for forensic analysis. On the DNA examination of the pistol,
I thank my learned friends for that wonderful education. I hope she could also guide these people to do what they want. But anyway,
The summary of the case.
the summary of the case. I am most grateful to my learned friend. The summary of the case, which is part of the indictment. Paragraph 32.
my lord, I had already read the scene. The SOCO visited the scene and picked several samples for forensic analysis. On the DNA examination of the pistol, it was found that A1's DNA was the most predominant on the trigger. The DNA analysis report shall be relied on during the trial.
Can you confirm that this report, yes, my lord, can you confirm that 4 months before they had a report, the DPP already said that A1 was predominant on the trigger, that they were therefore operating in the prophetic realm?
I cannot speak to that because I am not in the DPP's mind or in their office.
But the question is confirmed that they were claiming DNA results 4 months before we had DNA results.
I don't know whether they looked at the investigative report or the evaluative report, which they had on the 30th of April. But from what I can read and see,
Which they had when?
this is 22nd January.
Yes.
The evaluative reports that we issued.
No. Just confirm. On the 30th of April, on the 22nd of January,
Yes.
this report was not in existence.
I don't know which report they refer to.
The one that's before court.
It doesn't say here.
No, it was not in existence. That is in January. Your report is in April. My question is, by the time that allegation was made, your DNA report was not in existence.
Our report was authored on the 30th of April and not on the 22nd of January.
So it was not in existence.
Our report was authored on the 30th of April.
So by the time
the report was authored, by the time the summary of evidence was written, the report had not been authored.
The evaluative report that we have
The
in court,
DNA report we
was
have.
authored on the 30th.
The ones we have, the DNA analysis report.
What is the title of this document?
DNA analysis report.
Yes. It says DNA analysis report.
By the way,
Yes, my lord.
you can say something, but the thing is very clear. Still other people go straight to the way it is. Just doing the work. Just say it. There. That's what he's asking about.
Yes,
None
ma'am.
of us knows it. Then other people may ask you why you use this, and then you explain.
Yes, my
But
lord.
this one is coming with that.
Okay.
Much obliged, my lord.
Much obliged, my lord. Thank you for that guidance. My lord, as I'm winding up, I just want to ask you, do you know a police officer called a Congo? Sorry. My lord, just want to know where it had ended.
This is about my friend, single witness. Wait. You didn't hear this report. Was not
In existence. It was not in existence. Okay, my lord, I'll give him one last document. You wrote this report on 30th of April to the OCCID Ginger Road Police Station.
Yes, the report is addressed to OCCID Ginger Road Police Station.
Do you know that the OCCID Ginger Road Police
The
Station?
report is addressed.
To the OCCID Ginger Road Police Station. Do you know that the OCCID Ginger Road Police Station at that time was called Akongo Bibiana?
Yes, that name is known to me, my lord.
And that is the person you addressed your report to.
That's correct, my lord.
Is that the same person you would have addressed all your reports to?
The person who requests for any investigative report, we address that report to them.
Or is it correct to say that the person you would have addressed any report to is a Congo Bibiana? Is the OCCID Ginger Road?
No, that's correct, my lord.
My lord, I wish to show this witness a statement, a police statement from a Congo Bibiana.
That's the police station. Is that so?
Yes. From the OCCID Ginger Road.
So, be sure it is.
Confirm.
Here, my lord,
Police statement from who?
this is police form 2B.
That is
The name of the police officer writing the statement is what?
I'm reading, my lord. This is police form 2B. But then case file number CRB 1070-2024.
The name?
Full names are Detective SP Akongo Bibiana.
Up there. So, Detective SP Akongo Bibiana.
Occupation police officer, sex female, place of location,
No,
DW
just
police
give the
station.
name. Congo Viviana. I want you to go to page 10 of that statement. No, before that, sorry. I want you just to confirm that date that statement is made.
Yes, here it's dated 3rd April 2024.
It is dated 3rd April 2024. Can you go to page 10?
Yes.
Okay, maybe, I don't know, if you can see the line which starts I and my team.
What did you say? Yes.
Just on page 10.
Oh, just at the top, eh?
No, at the bottom. Some in the middle there.
So which line?
I and my team.
Okay, I and my team.
The witness is here to come testify. It's not for us.
I want to be guided by God. Would it be proper, therefore, to read a statement in the open control, especially
No,
the
let him read.
is yet
And
to come
it should be between the.
I also think so, yes.
Yes.
And
So you read it in your mind and you write to the committee.
Okay. Much obliged, my lord. My lord, my question is very simple. Can you
Have you found out, has he read what you wanted to
No, before he reads it in his mind. Okay, yes, read it in your mind. Tell us when you reached from I and my team took samples up to the end of the page.
But now, Mr. Katanga, you're already what is this?
Okay, if the witness doesn't have a problem.
It's not proper.
Well, my lord, just read he's reading it in his head. He's reading it.
Have you understood?
Have you answered what I'm getting at? You reached the end of the page? Have you reached the end of the page? But it's about him. It's about him. It's about him.
If it's about him, then ask him about his report. And
No.
not the statement
It's
of
about
the office.
it's about him.
Because it's not the recording officer.
Have you read what
I've tried to peruse through my notes.
Yes. Can you confirm that this witness says that the point the witness is making? Go to the next page, the top sentence of the next page. Can you confirm that this witness is saying samples are delivered to you and the results have not yet been retrieved?
That's what it states, man.
Samples, DNA samples were retrieved to him, were sent to him, sorry my lord,
to him as a rule?
Directorate of your Directorate of Forensic Services of the Uganda Police Force.
And the guy.
Yours.
And they have not been retrieved.
And they have not been retrieved. The results are yet to be retrieved. So is it correct to say that according to CID, by 3rd April 2024, they had no report from you?
You can ask the investigating officer.
Okay.
Like by when?
By 3rd April 2024, they had no report from you. It's also correct that in this court there is no other report from you except the one dated the 30th of April.
My lord, that's the report before court, dated 30th, 2020.
So, Mr. Mubiru. My lord, finalizing. Mr. Yes.
Here report.
Yes. Mr. Mubiru, I want to put it to you that by the time you sat down to write your report, you had no option but to put in the report what the DPP had already accused A1 of.
My lord, we started working on this case for...
By the time you sat down to write your report, the DPP had already made an allegation about your results, and therefore you were bound because you're not independent.
That is not true, my lord.
It is not true that
That it is not true
Not
that he was already bound
It's not true.
by what the DPP had declared publicly.
Is that okay with you?
My lord, it is not true, as the council
It's
said.
not true. I want to put it to you that the reason why we have prejudicial language in your that the reason why your lab was chosen as opposed to the lab that traditionally gives evidence in these courts is because you are the one that lacked independence and you could be ordered around.
That's not true, my lord.
Instead of the government chemist, the accredited government chemist.
Because they could be ordered around.
These ones don't have accreditation.
It's not true.
I want to put it to you that the editing of results, the editing of results, the selective swabbing of specimen, the failure to test what you should have tested, the contamination in your lab were all deliberate to manufacture a fraudulent case against the Katanga widow and the Katanga orphans.
That's not true, my lord.
That is the what?
I want to put it to him that the editing of results, the selective and ridiculous swabbing of samples, the selective swabbing of samples, my lord, were done to manufacture a case against the Katanga widow and the Katanga orphans. I put that to you.
That's not true, my lord.
And I put it to you that in this case,
Hold on a bit.
this is my last question.
Yes.
I put it to you that in this case, it is abundantly clear that the Directorate of Forensic Services operated as a kitchen that cooks evidence and not as a lab that finds it.
That is not true, my lord.
My lord, I will now...
You do not cook.
We are not a kitchen, my lord. We are a forensic.
No, you operated that.
You operated, I didn't say your kitchen, I said in this case, you operated
My
like
lord, the
a
Director of
kitchen.
Forensic Services is not a kitchen, it is a forensic
No,
lab.
you operated that.
I said you operated as a kitchen, but my lord, I will now gratefully thank the court for the time you've given me and hand.
I accessed the scene on several occasions.
And that is where samples were collected from.
Samples are collected at the scene of crime, at the crime scene.
And they were forwarded to you.
I'm being specific, my lord. I led a team as a lead analyst, review and supervise, analyze the exhibits.
Did you analyze the samples brought to you?
The samples were analyzed by me and my team.
So now you are supervising at the scene of crime. Samples are brought to your department
Yes,
for analysis,
yes, my lord.
So where is the independence?
My Lord, rely on the data that we analyze.
My learned friend has put it to you when he was closing that you edited the results, that you selectively and ridiculously swapped samples, and you manufactured a report to implicate the Katanga family. You heard that? Did you hear that?
I have that, my Lord.
Right.
Which I said is not true.
I want to suggest to you, Miss, you are in the habit of swabbing samples, rather shuffling samples. You are in the habit of deliberately carrying out contaminations and manufacturing fake reports.
That's not true, my Lord.
I am in the habit.
I am not in the habit. That's my habit.
It's not true. It's not true that I am in the habit of doing what?
I am not in the habit.
What did you say? Manufacturing.
Sorry, my lord.
What specific question? It's not true that I am in the habit of doing what?
Of shuffling samples
Samples.
and exhibits.
Exhibits.
He said no.
And he said no.
Yeah, it's not true.
And I want to suggest to you that you have been previously, before, cited doing exactly that.
My Lord, that is a suggestion. I don't know where it's cited from.
I do not know.
Do you remember the famous case of Kajuri in Masaka?
My Lord, I testified in it.
Do you remember that case?
Yes, I do remember.
Right. Did you testify in that case?
My Lord, I was an expert witness.
Did you testify? Mr. Mubiru, come on. Did you testify in that case?
I was an expert witness.
I'll come to that.
You testify. What is it on the internet? You testify.
What did you testify on?
I testified on the DNA report
Yes.
while I was a government analyst
At GAD.
at the government analyst laboratory.
Right. Right. I want you to have a look at this one here. Okay, so go to page 20.
Page 20.
What is that?
My Lord is going to tell us. Look at the first page.
Judgment.
The first page reads the Republic of Uganda,
Yes.
the Court of Appeal of Uganda at Kampala.
Yes.
Column Yeah, you can see Honorable Mr. Justice A. Tunamjun,
Yes.
Honorable Mr. Justice S.B.K. Kapma, Honorable Mr. Justice A.S. Shimye, Criminal Appeal Number 39 of 2010, Uganda versus Katanga.
And what is that? Somewhere down?
Arising from the judgment of the High Court of Masaka, Muchiuche, dated 23rd April 2010, in criminal session case number 16, 2009. Judgment of the court.
I want you to go to that page which is tagged. What is the page number?
So the page number is 20.
Right. Would you read to court?
That is
Sorry, my lord, is Uganda versus Katanga Godfrey.
Yes.
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 Criminal appeal number 39, 2010. Right. Can you read the paragraph which is highlighted?
Yes, paragraph here is alleged. Second, Andrew PW is the government analyst
That is you.
who examined, who
Please, that is you.
I have not denied that my name is Andrew.
Say you are the one. Much of that. Okay.
Is the government analyst who examined, the spelling here, who examined, I think there is a misspelling, who examiners exhibits presented to him by the police. He claims in his evidence that he received exhibit MD5 brackets F2028/08 close brackets from Detective Constable Rashid Nyans brackets PW16 close brackets, who was one of the police officer investigating the instant murder case. The exhibit is said to be what? An old yellow 10-liter jerrycan. Close quote. He was requested to examine whether it contained human blood. The land trial court did not reveal in his ruling what the results of the examination were. However, whatever the results were, we have carefully studied the evidence of PW16, Rashid Nyans. He visited the house of PW3 and PW4. He does not testify that he saw or collected a 10-liter yellow jerrycan stained with blood or any shirts stained with blood. Full stop. We went further and perused the police statement of Rashid Nyans, which recorded on 5th November 2008. Nowhere does he say that he saw or collected or took to PW11 and Ruchizmulama a yellow 10-liter jerrycan for blood testing. He, or you, PW11, must have examined an exhibit in another case, but not the case of Uganda versus Katanga.
Right.
Therefore, if the land trial judge had evaluated the evidence properly, he could have used it to support the obviously fake evidence of Paul Cassidy.
It is apparent from that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
no, my lord,
Credibility.
and the fact that there is no, they say, my lord, nowhere does he say that he collected and took to him, the analyst, a yellow 10-liter jerrycan of blood
You get it from manufactured it.
testing. So where did you get that?
I'll always come back about it.
Okay. Now, I'm telling you, Mr. Mbiru, that this is one of the cases where you were cited for doing exactly what what my learned friend was putting to you earlier on.
Another one?
Yes. Now, I want to read you this, and I want you to tell me, or tell court, whether you subscribe to it, right? If the law has made you a witness, a friend asked you about the spent cartridge, which went through the head of the deceased.
That's the
Sorry? The projectile.
Projectile.
Yes.
Projectile.
The blood on it was ironically not that of the deceased, it.
What is it speaking about? Just trying to
Page
get-
28 of your report.
Page 28, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is the mixed DNA. According to my opinion, there is a mixed DNA profile, my lord, of at least
There is
a mixed DNA profile of at least that mixed DNA profile, my lord, is examined under two sets of hypotheses which we advance on page 28. And we are of the opinion that is the deceased as opposed to the deceased and one untested unrelated person. That is the proposition that we tested.
Yes, I'm saying
My lord.
that this bullet would go through the head of the deceased and go through is the minor contributor, DNA, on that projectile.
My lord, I cannot speak to the ridiculousness, but I can speak to the data that we have. And since I was not there, I don't know who else was there to see the bullet going through the head and landing whatever the so-called was able to pick it from.
Correct? Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In your lab, it is, or rather, it is your evidence that you undertake forensic examination of materials that are submitted to you by police.
Yes.
And that is on police form 17A.
That is correct, my lord.
And you have a team of officers an examiner, right?
Yes, sir.
17 what?
A, my lord. You have an analyst,
Yes.
you have a reviewer, yes,
That's correct.
and you have a lab technician.
That's correct.
What does the examiner do?
The examiner works together with the
What does the examiner do?
examiner participates in the examination.
What does the analyst do?
He also participates in the examination of the case.
The analyst.
What does the reviewer do?
Participates in the
Examination.
the reviewer.
Yes, the reviewer has got the option.
What does the reviewer do?
The reviewer participates in the entire process of examination and review. Examination of evidence material and argument, administrative review, and technical review. Technical and administrative review.
You also have a lab technician.
Yes, my lord.
What does he do?
The lab technician is limited to the role of operating instruments. And some light clinical work.
So when you get a swab, for example,
Yes, my lord.
you'll have 4 people to deal with it, correct?
No.
I say 4. Why? You'll have the examiner,
Yes.
you'll have the analyst,
Yes.
you'll have the reviewer,
Yes.
and the lab technician. Those are 4.
Yes, they participate, but you don't have to deal with them. The swab doesn't have to deal with all the 4.
Sorry?
You have said, my lord, you say that the swab has to deal with. I am saying that participation is by persons mentioned.
Yes, I'm saying that when you get a swab, for example, for examination,
Yes.
yeah, these 4 people will participate.
Yes, at different. They will participate in the whole chain of analysis.
Very well. Now, so who was the lab technician in this case, in respect of the materials you examined?
My lord, am I allowed to review the names of
Hey, this is the court. What is confidential about lab
Police
technician?
officers.
Huh?
The police officers.
Yes, he's a police officer. Hey, but I'm asking you,
Okay, you review.
not your blind, my lord.
What's the lab technician?
I have a lab technician here.
He doesn't know. Doesn't know. Who's the video? I thought you did it to me. He doesn't know. That document, when you receive it. You should trust that document is working.
Fine. Sorry?
No, I mean,
AIP.
Hmm?
AIP?
Team.
AIP?
Team.
AIP who?
IPO team.
Team who?
Team, the other name. The team.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
I have so many technicians.
right. Who was the reviewer?
My lord, I am the reviewer.
Okay, Mr. Mubiru. Was that true? Who was the analyst?
I am. Yes.
Kizimura.
Then the other one
The analyst
Yes.
already has been disclosed in court here. Madam Salimman. Redman.
And who was the examiner?
I doubled as the examiner. My lord.
Hmm?
I doubled as the examiner.
So you examined and you reviewed.
Yes, I was the examiner.
Can you take a look at your report? Who did you sign as?
Reviewer.
You did not indicate that you are also the examiner, did you?
According to our SOPs, the reviewer can also serve as an examiner.
Did you indicate in your report? Fine. Correct me if I'm wrong. In your evidence in chief, when my land sister was leading you, did you tell this court that you are the lead examiner, supervisor, and reviewer?
Yes, that's what I'm planning.
Pardon? What did you say?
Says he was the lead examiner, he was the supervisor, and reviewer.
That's so.
That was my testimony.
But in the report you sign as the reviewer.
That's correct.
This one.
Yeah, you have to show there.
I can go on.
Okay, I think this is very good.
Hmm?
Yeah, we shall come back. What's the issue?
Two. Oh.
Two?
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yep.
You show me for I'll leave it there. Who spoke to you? Is it the
Sorry.
When we were on the technical things.
The crime procedure man. The message would give us the crime procedure man. Sign.
The chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive analysis. Yes? And that is where you
nuclear and
fall.
That is the department that has a section of forensic biology.
Right.
what is the last one? Nuclear and
Nuclear, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosives analysis. Yes?
That's correct, my lord.
Then you have Department of Ballistics and tool marks.
That's correct, my lord.
2 months.
Yes, my lord. You also have the Department of Quality Assurance and Research.
That's correct, my lord.
Department of Questioned Documents.
That's correct, my lord.
And compliant with the established forensic standards and protocols.
Compliant with established.
Yes. With established forensic standards and protocols.
Is that so?
My lord, the standards and protocols is administrative and technical.
So that is not
And my role as a director, when I am a director, signing as a director, I oversee all the administrative aspects.
So whose duty is it to ensure that the reports conform to the required standards?
My Lord, there is a process.
The question is whose duty
There
is
is
to
a series
ensure?
of people across the value chain.
Sorry?
There are a series of people across the value chain.
Who are those?
So it starts off, of course, from the bench. You have both the examiners, the reviewers, supervisor. Then after that, it goes to the head of department. From the head of department, it is submitted to the, from the head of department to the office of the director for administrative review and release.
Right. So for you, your role as a supervisor and examiner is part of your duty to ensure that the report coming from your department is credible.
My Lord, it depends. Sometimes I have to be the administrator as director, but there are other times when I have to be the technical officer as an examiner, supervisor, reviewer.
And then your duty will also be to ensure that its contents are credible.
So I will be and reviewer. When I am an examiner, lead examiner, reviewer, supervisor, I am responsible for the report that I author.
Right. For its accuracy and truthfulness.
That's correct, my Lord.
Thank you. For each of these departments, does each one of them have their own lab?
Yes, they have their workspaces that they perform their duties.
Lab.
Lab.
That is my question, my lord.
Lab.
Laboratory.
Workspaces, my Lord.
Does each of those departments have a separate laboratory?
The majority of the departments have separate labs where they do partial activities, but there could be some which could be shared depending on the analysis undertaken.
And when an exhibit is forwarded to one of the labs, it will deal with that exhibit independent of the others, correct?
Yes, they have their workspace.
A department. It's a department or a lab.
A lab, my lord.
And it's independent of the other.
Yeah. And where one lab carries out an examination on an exhibit and it is required in another lab. After the first lab has done examination, it will then send the exhibit to the next lab through the gateway. Is that correct?
Yes, we send it back to the forensic gateway and then the other people can take it up.
And I take it that each of those departments has its own head.
Yes, the departments have a head. Each one has a head.
Right. My Lord, now I want to look at the
PID 1 and 2.
Identification.
yes. The number in one, my Lord, and then also in two, ABCD. Incidentally, what is that file which you have over there?
My lord, this is my personal lab file. It is the case file that we access.
Sorry?
This is the laboratory case file.
Ah, okay. Sorry? Let's take one dated 3rd November,
Yes, I have one
With
with
the-
that November.
starting with the D.
D-1.
That is PID. No, it was DID. Isn't it?
No, PID.
D.
It was yours.
No. Oh, it is theirs.
So it is
Yeah.
correct.
Prosecution identified document.
Exhibit, that's D1.
Number what? What number is it?
PID 1A.
108?
Yes, this
Yeah,
one.
it's in mine, 108.
Yes.
Now, it is from, can you read the exhibits that were supplied to you?
My lord, I have here D-1, D-2, KH1,
D dash. Is that D dash one?
D-1, D-2,
Next.
we have KH1,
KH1.
Go on.
KH2, M1, M2, M3, M4, and H.
And
H.
H. Take a look at this. That is what I have. What is the last exhibit which you have on that form? It's 17A, is it?
Yes, it has police form 17A. Yes.
Right. What is the last exhibit listed there?
I have here the last exhibit as M4.
The last. M4.
There are no H.
And this this page. There is.
Check the one I've given you, Mr.
It's not
Mbiyo.
there.
The document which was received at your lab.
My lord, this photocopy has a stamp that bears the forensic gateway number of Director of Forensic Services.
Was it received?
I can see the stamp, but I cannot.
How is the stamp of what?
It has a stamp impression that reads Uganda Police Force Forensic Gateway number receipt, Director of Forensic Services. Director of Forensic Services.
Where is that?
My lord, this stamp impression is similar to what I have in my file, but the Director of Forensic Services is at Napo.
The exhibits from D1 up to M appear in that document, do they?
Yes, they do.
They do. Which is listed, my lord. And what is the first exhibit listed as?
On which document?
The one I've given you.
D-1.
What is it?
Blood swab from the deceased Katanga recovered during postmortem.
Right.
It reads here, the description is blood swab from the deceased Katanga recovered during postmortem.
Next exhibit.
Next is D-2.
And what is it?
Blood swab from the deceased Katanga Henry recovered during postmortem.
Next.
Next is KH1, blood swab from the deceased. This is act. Someone. Blood swab from the deceased. That word is not here. It says something, the crime scene.
From the deceased.
It says blood swab from the deceased. I think there should have been at, just guessing, the crime scene.
Next.
Next level is KH2. Blood swab. Blood swab from the deceased. Recovered at the crime scene.
Next.
M1 is a left hand swab from Mori Katanga, recovered wire at the hospital. And it should be wire for the system.
Next.
This should be M2. Right hand swab from Mori Katanga, recovered wire at the hospital.
Next.
Right hand swab from Mori Katanga, recovered wire at the hospital.
Sorry, my lord.
So what that number you just read,
M3.
and still right hand
Yes, next.
Next is M4, vehicle swap from Katanga recovered while at the hospital.
M4.
Yes, my lord.
Yuko. M4. Yuko.
Vehicle swap from Katanga recovered while at the hospital.
Stops there.
That's the first page.
Okay. Now, from that document, those swabs were dispatched to be examined by your lab.
This is
Yes?
according to this document. These items were delivered to the laboratory by AIP Ogwang Emmanuel.
Well,
Ogwang Emmanuel, my lord. Now, you have another Form 17A of the same date, do you?
My lord, I have with me Form 17A for items delivered on the 3rd of November 2023 by AIP. Exhibits delivered on the 3rd. Delivered to the laboratory on the 3rd of November 2023 by AIP Ogwang Emmanuel.
Right.
That is 3rd November 2023.
One.
Yes, my lord.
Monday.
And you can confirm that the exhibits are D1,
Yes, we have D-1,
D2,
Yes.
-2, KH1,
Correct.
KH2,
Correct.
D1.
D-1, D-2, KH1,
Yes.
KH2,
Correct.
M1,
Correct.
M2,
Yes, I do have that.
M3,
Yes, I have that.
M4,
Yes. And H.
and H.
Yes.
I want you to confirm that on the document which you have read, which you have,
Yes, my lord.
has H when the earlier one does not have H for the same exhibits submitted. Correct?
Correct, my lord.
What is that?
Is-
Which one has?
Says this document you handed me doesn't have H. The document I have here has H.
And yet the exhibits are the same.
The items indicated here are from D1 all the way to H. This
I
one's
handed me out H. This one, we are not doing H.
doesn't have.
Yes.
Does not have. Does not have.
Does not have.
Yes.
Yes, the other one.
The one I have on my file does.
How much? Huh? question there was admissibility. You don't need. I'm sure I'll find out.
Now, you can confirm to court that document has the same lab reference number with the one which you have.
That's correct, my lord.
Which one?
This one which has handed me, has lab number DFS DNA 682-2023, and that's the exact lab number you have.
And you have.
Hold on a minute. And you're saying these documents has the same lab number as the one on the face, on your face,
Yes, the lab number is the same, 682-2023.
on my face. This lab number is
DFS stroke DNA
DNA.
stroke 682 stroke 2023.
Can we have the exhibits which are in court?
You want the slips or the exits?
Yeah, this is the PF-17, my lord. Oh, yes. We are going to use it. So let me show you the one.
Give me the whole set.
Yes. Yes, okay. Yeah. Let him have all. That is exhibit number what?
It's written on here PIDE 1A.
That is the one on top.
Yes, my lord.
This is the number again, sir.
It's PIDE number 1 capital A.
Now, that is the same document which you have on your file.
Yes, this is the document, my lord, that entered in court.
Right.
It's the same on my file.
And it has the same exhibits with what you have on your file.
That's correct, my lord.
The document which I gave you is missing H, exhibit H.
My lord, that has been established.
So, these two documents were submitted to the lab on the same day. From the stamps which appear there.
I will need to ask the forensic evidence.
No, look at them.
Yes, they have the same date stamp impression.
Right. Which is
3rd November 2020.
That is November, very good.
That's correct.
document which I gave you so bears the number R35 at the top. Does it?
Yes, it does, my lord.
The exhibit of court also bears that number, does it?
Yes, my lord.
R,
35. The same number, R35. Yes. Now, the two forms are delivering the same exhibit to your lab, but one of the forms does not bear exhibit H. Yes?
My lord, the Form 17 that I
Please.
have,
We are talking of the one which is in court.
yes, this one
Yes.
has H.
Yeah. The other one doesn't have exhibit H.
Does
Does
it?
it?
No, it doesn't.
Which one was the one in the court?
The one in court has H. The one I've given to him does not have H.
Yes.
You remember earlier on, my learned friend Harrison asked you about tampering with exhibits. Isn't this evidence of tampering?
No, it's not, my lord.
My Lord, I'm applying to have our document put in as a defense exhibit. It was supplied by the prosecution to us. The witness has accepted. It was received by
What is it exactly?
his police form 17, my lord. Dated
That
3rd.
was handed to you.
Sorry?
That was handed to you by the prosecution.
Yes. In disclosures. Yes. The witness has accepted. It was received by his lab.
Form. PF.
PF 17, my lord. 3rd November.
Transmitted as the first
Number
mark
6.
is the marking which matters. D.
My lord, we would only accept it to be identified, not as an exhibit. He's not here. The rules of tendering in of, my lord, the rules of tendering in of documentary exhibits are very clear. It has to be either present or not. They were the ones who raised it.
Maybe it is not the one you handed there. Because they referred it to you.
I don't know where he
You
got
handed
it
it
from,
Hey,
but it can't be tendered through him, is what we are objecting to. My lord, my objection is in respect to the document being tendered through Mr. Mobiru, because one, he is not the author of that document.
Now you're confused again. You say you have no objection.
No, I have no objection to as far as he can identify.
That was not the application.
Yeah, you can identify.
Yes.
Now,
My lord, that was not my application for him to identify. My application was it be tendered as an exhibit, defense exhibit.
To which, my lord, we are objecting to it being tendered as an exhibit.
My lord, the witness has confirmed this document was received by his lab.
My lord, I say it
Where?
was a stamped impression of my lab.
Where is the head, and he identified the lab.
where did you get that reference?
Sorry?
The prosecution.
My lord,
Part of
where
the
else could we
disclosure.
get it from?
Can you confirm that the document to make a work edition? Can you give her the thing that she
My lord, she knows it because we got it from her. She cannot now purport to deny it. You know, where else could we get it from? This was part of the disclosure.
Part of the disclosure.
Yes, it's only she's not being fair to the court. Simply because they are two and one is contradicting the other.
No, my lord, not everything that was disclosed to them has to be tendered through the witness. All we are saying is that this witness is not a competent witness through whom to tender the document. If that were the case, then they should just bring everything we disclose to them and we throw them on the court record. But that is not the law.
That's what you say to the law.
My lord, the Evidence Act is very clear. Section 60. When it comes to mental evidence, it has to be through the authors. And my lord, this ruling was also for you.
It comes to
I'll have to. The witness in the courtroom, Mr. Mobiru, is not the author of this document, and therefore cannot be made to speak to the contents of a document he did not author. Neither is he a competent witness through whom
you can only you are not saying that.
he can only identify the document. So, for purposes of him identifying, we have no objection. But tendering in as a defense exhibit, we have an objection.
Section 60, which is cited, says that the contents of documents may be proved by either primary or secondary evidence. Now, secondary evidence in section 62 means, amongst others, copies made from the original by mechanical processes which in themselves ensure the accuracy of the copy, and copies compared with copies. Then it adds in E, oral accounts of contents of a document given by someone, person, who has himself or herself seen it. This evidence, my lord, is that this document was received. He has confirmed with the stamp of his lab, so he cannot run out from it, produce it. as an
My lord,
exhibit.
if it was just about seeing, then these documents would have been